In this part of the video, we are talking about the further development and the life cycle of the fasciula hepatica. And now, students, we know that from the uterus, the egg or the capsules, they are given out from the female genital aperture. So, in the very last uh, lecture, we have talked about the muscular part of the uterus. So, this is called as the metraterm. So, this is the muscular part, and when it contracts, it is giving out the capsules. So, capsules are coming out of the body of this fasciula hepatica. Now, where it is present? Now, this fasciula hepatica was present in the bile ducts or the intestine of the sheep. Now, when these capsules they come out of fasciula hepatica, they come inside the intestine of the sheep. And these capsules they can come out of the sheep with the feces. So, now we are considering that the sheep has given out the feces and that feces has got the capsules in it. Now, students, I am taking up a particular situation. Suppose we have a ground where a pond exists. So I am drawing one. Suppose this is the ground and this is a pond or a water body which is present over there, and here we have the feces which is present very near to the pond. Now this is a very important thing, that this is the feces of that particular sheep which was having the fasciula hepatica, and this particular feces has got the capsules. So this is the most important thing. Now this particular water body, it is having water inside it. So this is water, this is present inside the water body, and there is a particular snail. Now this is a very important thing to note, that the secondary host of the fasciula hepatica is a snail, and this snail is called as Limnia, and that Limnia is living inside this water body. So I am making the Limnia in a cream color. Suppose this is the Limnia snail and it is living inside this water body, and from the feces, whenever there is a rainfall, or you can say uh, with a sudden change, this feces it mixes with the water, the capsules they are coming towards the water in the pond, so they are coming down. So whenever they reach water, what happens? The capsule's upper column it opens. So as every capsule had a cap, so this cap opens in the water, and what comes out is the miracidium. So students, here in the water, now we have the very first form of fasciula hepatica, which is the miracidium. I am writing M for miracidium. So miracidium is the first larval form which is now present in the water. Now this miracidium larva, it has got some special characters. So we should consider these characters right now. First character is that this miracidium has got a brain. This is a very important feature. Second thing, this miracidium has got eye spots. So it can see to some extent there that where is light or where is darkness. Number three, which is very important, is the presence of cilia. That means it has got cilia all over the body, so it can swim inside this water. And number fourth, which is again a very important thing, it has got an apical gland. So this gland can lyse something. So I'll be taking up further that how this miracidium it lives inside this water. Now what happens after this? This Miracidium, it is finding out the limnia in the water. And if the Miracidium, it finds this limnia, it will go towards it. And with the chemotaxis, it will find this particular snail. By chance, this Miracidium is not finding this particular Limnia snail, then it will die. That means the course or the life cycle of this Miracidium, it depends upon the presence or the absence of the snail. So if it finds the snail, it will penetrate the shell of the snail with the help of the apical gland secretion, and it will come inside the snail. It will enter the snail. Now, this first form or the Miracidium form, it is now penetrating the snail. It will enter into the snail. It will reach the organs of the snail. Now, inside the snail, the first form, it changes into the second form. This is a very, very important feature. So the first form, that was the Miracidium. Now we have the second form, which is called as the Sporocyst. So I'll be taking up the structure of these larval forms later on. Now this second form, which is the Sporocyst, it is formed inside the Limnia snail. So inside Limnia, the very first form, it entered the Limnia. It is transformed into the second form, and inside it, after a few days, it is converted into the third form, and it is called as the radia. So this is the third form, the radia larvae, and they are again formed inside the snail. And after some time, they are converted into the fourth form. The fourth form is called as the Cerquiria larva. And this Cerquiria larva is having a tail just like this. So this Cerquiria larva, it comes out of this snail. It is coming out. So that means the very first form that was formed outside the Miracidium, it goes inside the snail. The second form, the Sporocyst, the radia, the third form, the fourth form, the Cerquiria, they are formed inside the snail. And the fourth form, it comes out of the snail into the water. So it is coming out of the snail into the water, and with the help of this tail, it will swim inside the water, and it will reach the leaves or the plants which are present over the edge of the pond, and it will be sticking to these leaves, and it will leave off the tail. The tail will be left inside water, and only the head part will stick to the leaves which are present near the pond. Now, here on the leaves, it forms the sixth larval stage, which is called as the Metacerquiria. So this is the sixth form which is now present on the leaves, and Metacerquiria larva, it has a cyst wall, so it will secrete a cyst wall around itself to protect itself from the heat or the temperature which is present outside outside of the pond. Now this particular larva can stick to the leaves for months. It can remain here for months. Now what happens? At some time, a sheep comes and eats these leaves. So the sheep is eating those leaves and taking inside these Metacerquiria larvae. So these larvae, they are going inside the sheep now. So the cycle again starts. So whenever they enter the sheep, it will ingest it. The cyst wall will be broken down, which was present over the Metacerquiria. It will be broken down inside the sheep, and from inside a fresh fasciola hepatica will emerge, and that will lead to the bile ducts of that particular sheep. So now this sheep has got the fasciolasis, and there is a like condition. There may be this condition that a particular child or a human being, it takes on this Metacerquiria, and if he eats the Metacerquiria of the leaves, he will be taking up the fasciolasis. So fasciola will be formed in that particular individual. So this is the course, this is the whole life cycle of Fasciola hepatica. So I think that you have understood this particular life cycle, and this is the very, very important part. This is the Limnia Snail. So students, this is the secondary host of Fasciola hepatica, and you will see that this is the primary host, the sheep, and we have the Limnia snail as the secondary host. So these two animals, they cover up the whole life cycle of Fasciola hepatica. Now from here we can mark out some precautionary methods. So number one method can be that there is no defecation on the open environments. So if there is no feces, there can be no capsules going into the water, and there will be no coming out of the Miracidium larva, the first form. The second thing what we can do is the removal of this particular Limnia snail. So if we take out all the Limnia from all the ponds, so there will be no completeness of the life cycle of the Fasciola hepatica. So that is another method to take out the precautions for fasciolasis. So third thing can be that we have to be very hygienically clean, that we should, if we go out in the grounds or wherever sheep are found or cattle are found giving out the feces, so we should be taking very proper care that after coming home we should wash our feet and hands properly, or we should take a bath. So if we consider this particular part, that if we have gone to a particular place where a pond is found, then we should be not taking these Metacerquiria larvae. So if some children are playing around, so their hands should be washed. So this is very, very important part. So these are some of the steps by which we can take the prevention for fasciolasis. So I think you have understood the life cycle. Thank you.